That's some intense concentration.
Oh, I forget that people can see what I look like when I'm doing
I was like, oh, maybe she's using her new manifesting skills and she's doing it by without typing.
it. Nope, not yet. Oh, goodness. Maybe we're not professional yet. I got to get my face. I'm looking at something else while people are seeing me face. So welcome, everybody. Welcome, Dr. Dave. Thanks for being here today. And it is another day of talking about what if, positive possibilities for your life. I'm always excited to share this book that is going to be launched on April 20th. So I'm so excited for that. It's been a long time coming, but it is here now. And yeah, just getting ready for that. So
Excited.
So excited. So welcome, Dr. Dave. Thanks for being here today.
Absolutely.
It's always fun to get together and hang out.
Yay, fun.
Especially looking at that beautiful scenery behind you. It's just so nice.
Gorgeous.
All right, so let's take some nice deep breaths in. And ask, what is our message for today? So today's is, what if today I chose confidence? So how is your confidence today? Are you feeling excited and ready to take on the world? Are there steps that take you outside your comfort zone that will really shift and transport your growth to a whole new level? Awesome. Have you completed those steps that are uncomfortable? The best way to get over a lack of confidence is to just do it. Now you may be saying, easy for you to say. And yes, sometimes it is easier to tell someone else what to do than doing it yourself. For example, long time ago, I had been putting off doing live calls on Facebook. And it took me quite a few months to choose a date. I had it on my to-do list, but did everything else but that. When I picked the first date for my call, and it's funny because that's what I was thinking of when we were talking in the our previous Nature's Divas conversation. This is what I was thinking of. And so when I was doing the Facebook Lives and the fear, it's like, okay, I need to put myself out there. So my friend Vanessa, she's like, well, do Facebook Lives. And I'm like, nope. And she's like, well, that's how you put yourself out there. So like, okay, I can do this. So put a date. I'm like, okay, got a date. So then the date would come and it would be on my list. And I'm like, hey, we're gonna move that date. Because my ego's like, oh no, we don't even want to go on Facebook Live. But people are gonna make fun of you, and they're gonna, and all these things that were going on in my head while I was thinking about doing Facebook Live. So finally I put my big girl panties on and went, all right, I'm gonna tell everybody that I'm gonna do a Facebook Live. That'll get me to do it. So I told all my friends, okay, I'm going to be on Facebook Live at 11 o'clock on this day. So they're like, okay. So I went on. It's quite a funny story because technology and I don't know what it is, but it just doesn't work out well the first time. So I went on my computer, clicked Facebook Live, and then all these questions came up and all these things. And I'm like, I don't know what this is. I don't know what buttons to push, because my friend Vanessa said you just push live and there it is, but that was on your phone, not on the computer. So I've got now these messages coming through on my phone going, we're on Facebook Live. Where are you? We can't see you. What's going on? And they were like one after another after another. Like there was tons. And I'm just like, oh my goodness, I don't know what to do. So that was my first experience at Facebook Live. And it's like, well, you just got to laugh. And so I'm messaging everybody back going, hey, I don't know what to do. So I'm going to try this again next week. And thankfully for Vanessa, she is quite good at doing Facebook Live. She explained, and this is what you do. Don't go on your computer, do it from your phone. And then I'd see your messages. I can see up your nose, so adjust the phone. She was very helpful during those new days of, but everybody was very gracious. They're like, okay, not a big deal. And when I started doing them, I'm like, what's the big deal? What was I afraid of? Because I put that off for months. And then it just kept on getting bigger and bigger. And my confidence is just like, this is getting too overwhelming now. I don't want to do it. So when we think of that fear, use the oils. Go watch the Nature's Divas conversation we had today, because that gets rid of the fear, those oils that we talked about in there. And mustering confidence requires courage. So by putting those things that are uncomfortable at the top of the list and doing them, so if you have your list for the day, put those 3 things at the top of the list that are uncomfortable, that are outside your comfort zone, and do them. Because then the rest of the day is gravy. Because you're not looking at those things and going, oh, I think my closets need cleaning today. Oh, I think I'm going to clean my windows today, and do everything else but those 3 things that are going to move you further in whatever goals that you're wanting to manifest. And if you don't, you'll waste your day by staying busy, but not getting anything done. When you accomplish those difficult tasks, your confidence will grow and you'll be ready to take on the world.
Awesome. And that takes a lot to be able to even share that story, So I believe that it's very similar. I'm almost positive that so many folks now have exactly the same story of something very, the subject matter is different, just the situation is relatively the same for folks. And one of the things that, as you were talking about it, and then just the word confidence, the thing that struck for me was, what is it that confines you? Because whatever confines you, restricts you, is what's keeping you to have your confidence. And so, what are those restrictions? So, we just had some tools in the Nature's Divas to be able to eliminate those confines that we have around us that is constricting us. Once we are able to let those go, now that allows you to step into that confidence. Confidence does not feel good or easy almost always. It should put you on edge. That's the idea, because you are then at your best. Because now you are thinking very, very differently. You're actually ingesting all of the potentials, all of those things, but from a place of, I'm doing this, not if I can do this. That's the difference with confidence, is I'm going to do it. Don't know how that's going to work, but I'm still doing it. That's confidence. That's it. That's all we need. So take the others out of the equation. And so when we do that, that eliminates all of the others, all of those what ifs and could haves, the what if part that is in the negative realm as opposed to the possibility realm. So close that door. Only allow the what ifs of possibility to be open. Well, that sounds like a great meditation, doesn't it?
Certainly does.
Might want to write that down.
We might have some other work to do here, Dr. Dave.
Just popped in. But that sounds awesome. I mean, especially for this book. I mean, really. Well, there's a free bonus for everybody.
Yeah, absolutely.
Uh, Woo. Still got goosebumps about it. Yay! How much fun that gonna be for you?
Oh, absolutely. And the audiobook.
Right?
Yep.
Yeah, wow. I mean, really, that's what I think that a lot of folks just, I'm not confident about that. Okay, well, that's not how that's supposed to be. What that only says is that I just don't have what I believe I should have to move forward on whatever that issue is going to be, whatever that's supposed to be, that is, that you believe confidence is. Okay, well, how you change that? How do you change that? How do you acquire the things that you believe you need to have to be able to be confident in that situation? Whether it's going live on Facebook, or is it writing a book? Is it going for the new job? Or is it getting back out in the dating world? Is it to try a new hobby? Whatever it is. So there's potentials and there's ways, there's paths that we can get to that so that we can have the confidence. But almost always, our lack of confidence is self-imposed. And then we actually find out that we actually had a lot of the skills already. We just didn't want to believe that we had them. So we
Mm.
don't have to do the thing that we say we want to do.
It's those darn beliefs coming up that no longer serve us, that are like, all right, well, if you want to do whatever it is that your goals that you have set for this year and this springtime that's coming forward, then there's some beliefs and some habits that have got to go. And the lack of
Hmm.
confidence is one of them. That is like number one.
Absolutely.
Get rid of it, because
Yeah.
it's shining that light, and you are a perfect being. You are worthy. You are just so much more than you even dream that you can be. It's just about stepping out and being that. And it's that easy, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Courage. Yeah, it takes courage, but you know what? Once you do it, it's like, what was I worried about? And it just, you wonder about it going, man, I have wasted so much time. So instead of wasting all that time, just go do it. Feel the fear and do it anyways. Because you'll notice that that fear is unfounded and kind of ridiculous, because the ego doesn't want you to do anything but sit on the couch and do nothing. Doesn't want you doing anything. So if you want to do something, get rid of that ego and say, you know what? I'm
Hmm.
going to do this anyway. So zip it. I'm driving.
Hmm.
I'll let you off
Yep.
here if you don't like it, and I'll continue on my
Mm.
way all by myself, because I can do this. I will do this, and I'm going to do this. Instead of running
Right.
around doing that busyness that we have all done in the past. I have done it. My closets have thanked me at that point, but I wasn't moving any farther in my goals. And
Mm.
in order to move forward towards your goals, you need to get those difficult things done. And once you've done them, the rest of the day is like, well, that was easy. Now you've got all this other time to do all these other things. And then you find that, yeah, the closets can wait for another day because I wanted to do some other cool stuff, you know, and you just keep going, and that comfort zone keeps stretching. And before you know it, it's like, I could do that. There's no problem, because that fear isn't there anymore. It's not hitting you going, ooh, I don't know about that.
Yeah. I want to talk about this in the context about energy management when it comes to confidence. So confidence, when we're managing our energies, it's going to be a question, and this is pretty much all the time about any subject that you want to put in. Um, it's where do you want to invest your energy? Are you going to invest it in the beginning, before you actually say yes, you're doing the thing that you want to do? Meaning, I'm going to fret about it. I've got to do all this work. I've got to figure out. I've got to get skilled. I've got to do all of these things. So you're wasting, let me rephrase that. You're choosing to use your energy before the event Or are you going to choose to use that energy allotment on the other side of that, which would also equal the confidence gate once you go through it, and then you're on the other side of it. Now you have all the other energy that you didn't choose to use on the front end that we knew was just a waste of our energy and time if we want to get to where we want to go. So that energy is spent way better on the other side of confidence, allowing us to fully step into and enjoy what it is that we're wanting to do, whatever that goal is, whatever that thing is that we want to do. So you got much more expenditure of that time and experience once we cross that gate of confidence. If you look at folks that you would say are very confident in whether it's their field or they just have a confidence about them, it doesn't mean that they're the expert at anything and everything. It's just they are choosing to use most of their energy on the other side of that confidence gate.
Mm.
So it's going to be, I'm not going to really worry about what it is I can or can't do, whether I'm going to fall short, whether this is right for me or any of that stuff. I'll figure that out later on and it'll show itself and then I can pivot and do what I need to do on the other side of it. They're choosing to use all of that energy financing on the other side of confidence as opposed to spending all of that confidence money, energy on the first part of it, of worrying about it until we get there. So when we're talking about your example of what happened with Facebook Live, you used all of your funds energetically before you got to the confidence gate
Mhm.
of all the things you kept doing and changing and stuff because I couldn't. But then once you got there, then you're like, "Phew," and it's a relief. It's so huge. Like, and then you're like, what? I just wasted a ton of financing money of energy back there worrying about getting to this point, and now what could it have been like different had I chosen not to use all that energy before we get to the confidence gate and then moving forward? And that's where I want to spend all my money. That's where I want to spend all of my confidence money and use in that. So, what can that then bring to us and align with us with that confidence? So, what if we choose to now pivot and start changing how we're looking forward into every situation? And let's just start at the confidence line. And if you don't trust you, that you have the potential, you've got the gift, you've got the skills, how about trusting your guide, your spirit angels, your spirit guides, your angels, or divine source, whatever you choose to call that? How about we're just going to put all of that in them? I have the confidence when I show up that my source energy is going to carry me through, and I'm going to have alignment with any and all of the skills that I'll need to have along the way. Doesn't mean I have to do all those things, but then the universe allows it allows the universe to bring in any and all of those other people that can bring those resources. So I didn't need to know that anyway. I get to enjoy all of these other things, but I thought I needed to know everything, on the other side of that confidence gate. So looking this way, yeah, right. So my invitation, I think today you might hear out of this is that how about we all just start at the confidence gate? Have the confidence that whatever is to be is going to show up.
Mm.
Everything the universe is going to provide. So we use these terms all the time, but really, do you feel that? Do you use that? Do you apply that? So if we start today and just from this point forward go, don't know how that's supposed to work, don't need to, I guess. I'll figure it out when I get there. That's confidence. That's confidence in my source because I'm connected to source. There's no difference between me and everyone else. So we all are connected to the same source. So you have the same potential, you have the same connection, you have the same right, if you will. So we all can do exactly that same thing if we just choose to show up there instead of getting in the stuck part of the worry about everything else. So what if you embodied confidence today? Just a thought.
Absolutely.
Okay,
And if you come from a place of your heart, if you come from that heart center, it makes it so much easier rather than thinking. We get so caught up
absolutely.
in like the thinking and the woulda, shoulda, couldas, instead of dropping down into our heart and going, okay, I got this. I'm just going to step forward, just as you said. And I'm asking everybody to come along for the ride and help me out. And that's how we do it. And I've got an example of that too. Um, my friend Vanessa, she was teaching me, she's a 6th-generation clairvoyant medium. So one day we were sitting on the porch. This is when I owned my store back in 2000, many, many moons ago. And she was teaching me psychometry, which is holding a piece of jewelry and then telling about it and seeing what we see. So Halloween was coming up, and there was a private party at a local golf course, and she was invited to come down and do readings. And unfortunately, she wasn't able to make it. So she's like, "You can do it." Like, pardon? Like, this is my jam. I don't do readings. That's you. She's like, "I can't make it." So I'm like, she's like, "You got this. You're okay." I'm like, oh my goodness. And because it's my business, I'm like, man. So I'm like, okay. So I got my brother who's like 6'3", I'm like, "You're coming with me." So you can hold him off. If I have to run out, screaming, you can hold him back, because I don't know what's going to happen. And she's like, "Well, I've taught you psychometry." I'm like, "Yeah, 10 minutes. She's like, "You're good." So on the drive there, which is about 20 minutes away, I'm like calling out to everybody. I'm like, "All right, spirit guides, guardian angels, anybody on the other side that is wanting to help me, please be here for me tonight." So I get there, and when you walk in the doors, they have a room to the one side. So there's the doors coming in, the doors going out into the hall. And when you come around the corner, they sat me right there. So you have to go past me to get to the bar. Plus, there's another set of doors that come out of that big room, and everybody was sitting in that big room. So here I am at this little table, and the people are lined up. So there's no like quiet space where I'm like tucked in a corner. I was like the main attraction. I'm like, oh my goodness. So I'm like, all right, I got this. So I sat down, and I'm like, "Would you happen to have a piece of jewelry that I could hold on to?" So they did. I'm like, "Thank you." So I'm like, closing my eyes, going, "All right, whoever's out there, give me something." And all of a sudden, I started to see this movie of these things. And so I started talking, and they're like, "Yeah." I'm like, now I did not do that out loud. I did not. But inside, I'm like, "Oh yeah, I got this." I did 15-minute readings for 3 hours straight, no breaks.
Oh,
And everybody was
oh,
happy.
nice. Good for
Yeah.
you.
Yeah. Didn't do that again. After that, I'm like, "That's still your jam, not mine." All right. They pulled in when I needed, but that's it. That's all. So, but Vanessa always teases me.
Wow.
She's like, "Oh, you got this. You can do that." I'm like, "No." I like teaching. I will in a pinch, but that's not what I do. But that courage to step out, and afterwards it's like, that was really cool. I was like, "You did that."
Yeah.
Me
Yeah,
and a
right.
whole pile of other people on the other side. So it was pretty
Right.
awesome.
Yeah, and that's one of the things that, just as what I was talking about, for the allowing ourselves just to step into that, because we have the source is always going to line up all of the things, the resources that we need to be able to be in that space. You're the only
Yeah.
person that just has to agree to show up,
Exactly.
so and I think a lot of times folks have a very wrong impression when they see or they believe they're witnessing somebody that has such confidence about anything that they do. Most of the time, what they're seeing and being projected is nothing like what's happening behind the scenes or behind, the curtain kind of thing. Nope, not. Mm-mm. And so that's one, teaching workshops and classes, especially with energy therapies and stuff. That's one part that I love to share. Because as folks work with me, they just like, because you do all these things, you know all of this. I'm like, no, mm-mm. I show up and have no freaking idea what's gonna happen. I just show up and pray to God it all comes in. Otherwise, I got nothing. But in that fear, though, is when it's just magical, because then if I agree that I don't have the classwork, I don't have the curriculum, I don't have the agenda or the outline of whatever it is, and I let spirit handle all of that, then it's effortless, because then they're actually getting the exact information that they're supposed to have at that moment, instead of me trying to figure that out and preconceive what it's supposed to be like. And so in our lives, it's the same thing. If we know that, if we have the confidence in spirit, that's all we have to do
Yeah,
is just show up. The
that's for
rest of
sure.
it is most of the time not even our job.
Yeah,
Just showing up is our job. And so confidence is really about showing up. That's it.
absolutely.
To me, that's what it is. So,
Yeah.
and that's exactly what you did. You just got past all the other stuff and said, "Well, here we go," and you showed up, and then magic happens.
Yeah. And you feel good
Awesome.
because now your confidence level is just like gone through the roof, going, holy crap, like that was easy. Well, sort of, but it just gave you that level of confidence that just like skyrocketed. And it's just so exciting to go, okay, well, if I can do that, what else can I do? And it just
Mm-hmm.
puts that what if now,
Yeah.
what else can I do? And then it just keeps moving forward until nothing really phases you. It's like, yeah, I can do that. No problem. Even though you do
Mm-hmm.
not have a clue how you're going to do it, it doesn't matter because everything
Mm-hmm.
will show up as it
Yes.
as it does and as it has. And that's all that's needed,
Yes.
really.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Awesome.
Awesome.
Well, thank you so much, everybody, for being here today and another wonderful, wonderful what if. And hope everybody has a wonderful week. And we will see you all soon. Thank you so much, Dr. Dave, for being here again.
Uh,
And we will
Absolutely my
talk to you
pleasure.
soon.
All right. Have a great
Bye.
one. Thanks.